Let's jump to another one. This is for you, Annette. This is another representative of all womankind. And we talked about this before. I think you and I have just talked about, why do conservative Christians bash only women in porn, only the women in porn? Why do they not bash the men? Like the women aren't having sex with themselves, right? Which is legitimately a good point. I think it even goes back to the Lilith kind of thing, right? Yeah. Why is it only women, when it comes to sexual things, women are always treated far worse, the harlot sort of mentality, right? All the other four of us, we could go out and screw everything we want. And like, oh, that's just boys being boys, you know, a little wild life. You do it, Annette. And we're like, slut. You know what I mean? It's like instantly. It's not even, you know, I'm in gray area for a lot of people, right? It's a weird thing. But what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Like it you know, singles out women as these like moral corrupters, while men we get to ignore, you know, minimize their participation in, you know, in that,
right,
their role in it. I think that imbalance really reflects like these broader patterns that we see in religious spaces about, you know, sexual morality, is that like women are held to different standards than men, you know, like that is right off the bat. And like our moral misgivings in this way are, you know, we are seen as less forgivable, maybe in that way, that men are, it's just like, it's expected that they'll be tempted. It's expected. And that we are the temptresses. Right. And so, and that goes back to, I mean, that's why ultimately it boils down to why women, even in other religions like Islam, they're expected to wear a hijab, right? Like the hair, and in Orthodox Jewish religions too. Like I live in a community here in Chicago where there's many Orthodox Jews that live in this area, and you can kind of tell because the women wear wigs, right? And the same thing, like they're covering their hair because their hair is, you know, somehow some sort of like part of their sexual strength, and that they, you know, are using it as a tool to tempt men, and they're expected not to do that.
The married
women.
Right.
Oh, that's a good distinction. But still, like, you know, we are expected to, use our agency in that regard, where men are kind of let off the hook, you know, totally for that.
No one's ever questioned me about that. I mean, no, you know, my entire life, no one's ever looked down on me for having sex with girls and women throughout my teens and then, you know, early 20s or whatever. No one's ever said anything about that. No one ever thought anything about that. Plus they knew me like, okay, that's what Mike does, whatever, you know, a little bit of a wild past. But it was wild in a almost admirable way, in the sense that, you know, not the same girl that would be doing the same things I was doing would have 100% different reaction, right?
And that's because you're defiling her father's property.
Oh, brother!
That's why Islam, Judaism, all of the Abrahamic religions that are have roots in the Old Testament. I said it before: women were property.
Property. Yeah.
When a young woman is raped, you don't send him to prison. You pay her father for taking her virginity.
He has to marry her.
And then marry her.
Yeah.
She has to marry him. Right.
It's always an ownership type of a thing. Even in slavery, Jewish men were released in slavery after 7 years. Women were not released.
Right.
It's an ownership thing. So when you
handmaids,
when a woman is cheating, she has defiled her husband's property, so she should die. That's, to me, that's what it all comes down to. Is it's just about this property, and sexual purity is about the sex should be specifically for the man you're going to be bought from or for.
Even in the way we say things, maybe not as much as we've done, but there's still the idea, I'm going to ask her father if, you know, to marry her. The hell's he up to do? Right? I mean, I don't know that that's a common thing with, say, a younger generation. I got nieces and nephews in their 20s. I should ask them that. But that's, you know, we all know that's a thing, right?
Yeah.
what the hell? I mean, how old is that left over from that literal thing where I am her father and therefore property, you know? And I'm sure that still goes on very common. It's not in a world I live in, but
sure. There's a lot of traditions around weddings, like even just the bride wearing white and, you know, just like the veil and the giving the father gives her away and like all of that.
Yeah.
And the white is not purity. The white is not purity. Let's go ahead and make sure we nix that one. The white was never about purity. It was about affording a dress that you can wear once and not get anything on.
Not get it.
I think it was Queen Victoria. It was a Victorian thing. She wore a white dress because most women wore regular, you know, whatever clothes. So white became the wedding thing as a symbol of affluence. You wear a white dress because it's something you can't wear for housework or yard work or field work.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
Just want to acknowledge real quick that Randy is jamming. Thanks, Randy, for jumping in and putting some comments. So we do appreciate it.
So overall, I guess I just want to say, like, I'm not at all anti-porn. Like, I'm actually like pro. I'm pro porn. I'm sex positive, right? Like it's. But watch all the porn you want. I don't give a shit. But honestly, like there are lines that I draw, just like any other media that I consume. Is that like I like to draw the line at like violence against women. Sure. And I also want to plug for, you know, I'm very anti like strangulation and choking in porn and sex in general, because it really is like that place where it's like crosses the line into like that is like life ending. There's a lot of research to show that there's a overlap between men who strangle their opposite sex partners. There's a very high correlation with cop killers, terrorist activity, and murder. Period. Like if you choke your partner, you might as well raise your hand and say, "Hi, I'm a murderer." But other than that, like,
domestic violence.
Exactly. Yeah, and killing animals too. That's another thing. But
it's a big one.
That
right?
aside, like that, I mean, and I know that's a whole side conversation, but just, you know, I'm sex positive and watch all the porn you want. But yeah, there a lot of the way, just like any other topic, you know, the onus is always on women to, you know, we are expected to be obedient and silent, and if we step out of line, you know, we get the punishment, you know. It's
right. No, I'm gonna go on.
Go ahead, Mike.
I was just thinking, I'm gonna have to talk to your husband. Like, you know, what does she want for Christmas? Well, you know, obviously she wants porn. what kind of
vibrator?
Not choking, not snuff films. She said very clearly, no snuff films. All right. Whatever. Hey, thanks for tuning in to today's show. I really hope you enjoyed it. Do me a favor and like and subscribe to the show and tell a friend. That helps us grow and it lets us keep bringing you more voices from the other side of belief. Until we talk again, be kind to one another and remember that reason and compassion go a long way.